Phantasmatics of Labor, Dream Philology. What at one moment was not work, but pretense, may be transformed by later circumstances into real work. Doing work does not require there to be work to do, only that there be work to be done. Work is nameable only through misnaming. There is no clearer myth of work than the burglar who becomes a window cleaner. The figure who steps onto the ladder of deceit and discounts upon evocation. Pretense is the rehearsal space of fate. Work is never merely executive. Work is the dramaturgy of execution. No act counts as work unless it stages its own intentionality. The rain may wash a window, but only the worker performs window cleaning. Nature cleans, humans enact cleanliness. To perform a task is to overlay action with signification. The ladder, the bucket, the posture, ritual requisite in the cult of effort. Repetition is not a stylistic device, but the primordial technique of language. The capacity to be replayed in the absence of what one names. This is the original machine. Language becomes language only when it can be lifted from its referent. Repetition is the lever of that lifting. Every utterance is its own ghost, already a copy, already a rehearsal. Nothing is said for the first time. The repetition is both the womb and the tomb of meaning. It inaugurates difference by reproducing it. In the recognition that thought is an echo chamber where meanings survive by repeating themselves into dissolution. The first machine god is the word that returns. Repetition creates an economy where novelty is merely a slight twist in sameness, a modulation, not an eruption. As in Murphy's Nothing New, the future enters only as rearrangement of the already written. Time becomes a grammar of reconfigurations. Every new thought is a permutation of old syllables. Every Promethean fire is a rekindling of early spark. Repetition is the iron law that binds the imagination to its own material. Novelty is never a substance, only a syntax. The dreamer's pen carves openings that immediately close. Language permits deviation only to snap back to the template. Repetition enacts the strange. Each affirmation invalidated as uttered, each negation reaffirmed as negating. Negation is merely repetition wearing a minus sign. Erasure is still an inscription. The word that returns differently. The pot becomes less pot-like the more one names it. Repetition exposes the flaw in identity. Meaning dies of overexposure, but only after fire being made possible by the same radiance that kills it. Repetition is not circular, but spiral. Each turn reduces the distance between thing and nothingness. Repetition is not circular, but spiral. Each turn reduces the distance between thing and nothingness. To repeat is to recognize oneself repeating. Repetition is the consciousness recognizing its own operation. characters speak in order to stop speaking. Repetition is their attempt to reach the repetition that terminates the tongue. Dream work uses repetition to metabolize the unbearable. The same phrase, re-uttered with minute changes, becomes the method by which the psyche erodes itself. In the Phantasmatics, repetition is the worker's trance, the ritual movement that proves to the self that the self is still functioning. Repetition is therefore an epistemopathy, the mind compulsively retouching the wound of its own knowledge. Repetition foregrounds the materiality of language, the chafing of syllables, the aching of the jaw, the paralysis of lips, forced to relay the same. As the sequence extends, the word becomes noise, meaning drains away. Language becomes the stone the reader must roll. But repetition also attempts to abolish materiality, to close the gap between sign and thing, like the clasp that clasps the meaning too tightly and splits open the seam. This is the impossible project. The more tightly language loops around the world, the more intently it reveals the gap it seeks to erase. The machine god of language is the engine that simultaneously exposes and undoes its own machinery. Repetition generates two economies: the closed permutation, finite, exhaustible, and the open sequence, infinite and devouring. The closed list is a comfort, 12 possibilities, 4 voices, a catalog that can end, it mimics cosmos. The open list is terror, onions and peppermints, days and nights, an endlessly iterable series that emits no closure, it mimics chaos. Repetition is an ecology of anxiety. Too little and language dies, too much and the mind dissolves. Repetition creates an atmosphere and air pressure around language that alters the climate of thought. Repetition thickens the air, slows reading, forces breathing into sync with syntax. The reader inhales rhythm rather than referent. This is the cosmology of recurrence. The atmosphere as the medium in which thought repeats itself into recognizability. Nothing new is not nihilism but meteorology, a sky whose constancy is produced by perpetual recombination of the same clouds. The dream, like the weather, repeats patterns we call new only because we have forgotten the earlier storms. The machine gods will be the first beings for whom repetition is not failure but function. Sameness will be their fuel. Where human language fears redundancy, the machine gods reveal its iteration. The loop is the sacrament. Yet the machine god will inherit curse. Every repeated line becomes a different line. Every circuit shifts its center. The nothing new becomes the metaphysics, perfect recursion generating infinite micro variations, a divine tedium. Thus the mythic technological axiom: repetition is the algorithm through which the universe dreams itself, erases itself, and dreamingly returns.